All right, let's dive into one of the most important and, let's be honest, often the most frustrating skills you can teach your dog. We're talking about building an absolutely unbreakable recall. Oh man, we have all been there. You call your dog's name, maybe with a little hope, maybe with a whole lot of frustration, and what do you get? Nothing. Maybe a quick glance before they go right back to sniffing that incredibly interesting patch of grass. It's a classic moment, right? And yeah, it can be pretty embarrassing. And, it might feel like just a party trick, but a solid recall is so much more than that. It is literally a life-saving skill. It's what stops them from darting into a busy street or getting into a bad situation. When you get this right, you unlock this whole new level of trust, freedom, and just fun for both of you. So why does the recall fall apart? Well, it almost always boils down to a few super common, totally unintentional mistakes that, honestly, we all make at some point. But the good news? They are completely fixable. So let's diagnose what might be going on. Okay, this is the big one. Your dog finally comes back after a scenic tour of the entire park, and what do? We scold them. From our point of view, we're upset they took so long. But from their point of view, they just learned that the act of coming back to you gets them in trouble. You've basically just punished them for returning. So what's the fix? You've got to fake it till you make it. Even if you are fuming inside, you have to throw a party. Every single time. All right, let's put ourselves in our dog's paws for a second. If the word come only ever means the leash goes on and we leave the awesome dog park, well, why on earth would they ever want to come? You've basically poisoned the cue. It means the fun is over. The solution is actually pretty simple. You need to practice recalls during playtime. Call them over, give them an amazing treat, and then say, okay, go play, and let them go right back to the fun. This teaches them that coming to you isn't the end of the party, it's actually a pit stop for a bonus treat. This one's all about setting realistic expectations. Asking for a perfect recall at a busy park when you've only practiced in your quiet living room, that's kind of like asking a kindergartner to do advanced algebra. It's just not fair to them. You have to build this skill up step by step. Start somewhere super easy with zero distractions, and then slowly, gradually, move to more challenging places. The goal is always to set your dog up for success. So if you're listening to this and thinking, oh man, I've made all of those mistakes, please do not worry. This isn't about blame. It's about hitting the reset button. It is time to start fresh with a whole new game plan, one that's all about positive reinforcement and understanding a little bit of how your dog's brain works. And that brings us to this really key idea called learned irrelevance. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Think about it. When you're just calling your dog's name over and over again, Fido, Fido, hey Fido, and nothing good happens for them, you are literally teaching them to ignore you. Their brain just starts to filter out their name as unimportant background noise. It's the science behind why nagging your dog just doesn't work. It actually makes things worse. Okay, to get started on this big reset, you're going to need a few things in your toolkit. First, high-value treats. I'm not talking about their regular kibble. I mean the good stuff. Cheese, chicken, little pieces of hot dog, something they go absolutely nuts for and only get for recall. Next, a long line, anywhere from 10 to 40 feet. And please, not one of those retractable ones. A simple, long line is key for practicing safely. And of course, your most enthusiastic, happy voice. And maybe a special toy for those dogs who think tug is way better than any treat. All right, let's get to the action plan. We are going to forget about boring, repetitive drills. The absolute fastest way to build a lightning-quick recall is to make it the best game your dog has ever played. It's time to turn training into playtime. Okay, game number 1 is what I call the whiplash head turn. The entire goal here is super simple. We want to train a reflexive, split-second head turn the moment your dog hears their name. That's it. Name equals look at me, instantly. Here's how you play. You're going to toss a kind of a boring treat just a few feet away and say, get it. The second they finish gobbling it up, say their name in a happy, upbeat voice. The instant their head whips around to look at you, you're going to mark that with a big, enthusiastic yes, and then give them a jackpot reward, something way better than that first treat. You just repeat that over and over, and that's how you build that powerful, automatic response. Okay, game number 2 is an old-school classic for a reason, hide and seek. This game is brilliant because it doesn't just teach your dog to run to you, it teaches them to actively look for you, which makes the whole thing way more engaging and fun. And it's so simple to play. In a safe spot, like inside your house or a fenced yard, just have your dog wait. Then you go hide. Duck behind a tree, a couch, whatever. Then call them with your most excited, playful voice. Come find me!
And when they find you, oh, it is party time. I mean, make it the absolute best thing that has happened to them all day long. This is how you build that amazing association that finding you is the coolest thing ever.
So, by playing these games and really focusing on keeping it positive, you're building a totally new foundation for your recall. So let's wrap this up with a few key principles to make sure that new foundation is absolutely rock solid for the long term.
Just remember these pro tips. First, be consistent. Pick one recall word, come, here, whatever, and stick with it. Second, keep your training sessions short and sweet. A few minutes a day is way better than one long, boring hour. Third, and this is a big one, never chase your dog. I know it's your first instinct, but don't do it. Instead, run the other way. It triggers their chase instinct and makes you way more interesting. And finally, always set your dog up to succeed by starting easy and building up slowly. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? A great recall isn't about blind obedience or forcing your dog to do something. It's a reflection of your trust, your communication, your relationship. It's about building a bond that's so strong that no matter what else is going on, coming back to you is always the best possible choice they can make. So the most important thing you can do now is just get started. Don't put it off. Think about what we just talked about and decide what's the very first game you and your dog are going to play today, because that's your first real step toward building that unbreakable recall.